In today's video, I am going to be breaking down the Toronto Raptors' most recent pick, Gradey Dick, and how he shoots the basketball. So let's get down, let's check this out, and of course, make sure to go check out my hardest basketball shooting workout if you want to be able to shoot the basketball from further away. Let's get down, let's check out Gradey Dick. Okay, so what's the first thing that I notice about Gradey Dick? The first thing that I notice is that he doesn't have a dip in his shot. Most players will actually dip down and then bring the ball up into their set point. He does not have the dip, which means that he has a faster release, and that is harder for these defenders to block. So he could actually get quite a few threes up in the NBA. Now, the downfall of having no dip is, of course, it removes a lot of your power, so shooting distance may be an issue with Gradey Dick. Now, Gradey Dick doesn't use a lot of his lower back at all. He actually uses a lot of his legs and a high set. This is where he gets actually a lot of his power from. As we can see on this shot, he actually gets quite high off the ground, but he still has really good energy transfer to the basket. What I mean by that is, while he's going up in his jump, he's releasing his shot at the exact same time. He's going from set point on the ground to release while at the peak of his jump. This is extremely important. We can also see right here that he releases with the middle finger. While with most players, what you would want to see is for you to have a pointer and middle finger release that will give you a good rotation and balance on your shot. He tends to release from his middle finger, and that's actually quite normal for somebody who is shooting from in front of their forehead. And how he's able to get distance on his shot, as we can see right here, is he really kicks that right leg down, and while that ball is at his waist, he's bringing the ball up, and then he goes for his jump while the ball is in front of his forehead on his set point. He has a two-motion shot, and then he's able to release. Now, in this clip, he actually releases with his middle finger, and we can see that his wrist sort of flings out towards the right side and then goes straight. While a lot of players may look to change that, Gradey Dick tends to have a pretty high three-point percentage where you may not want to try and fix it. Now, when he does shoot this ball, if we look at the trajectory of the shot itself versus the rim, we can see that it falls around 47 degrees. Now, what that tells us is anywhere between about 42 and about 48 roughly degrees, depending on the distance outside of the three-point line, is exactly where you want to be. The reason for that is if the shot is dropping too high of a degree, that's going to have a lot of gravity for it to bounce out of the rim. While that may make the rim look biggest, you don't want it to have too big of a drop because that's going to allow it to bounce out of the rim. Too low of a shot release or too low of an arc on your shot will make it so that the rim looks super small and it's going to be very hard to be able to shoot. At that 47 degree roughly angle, that's going to allow it to be the most optimal degree to come down on the rim. And then if we look at his actual release, or his set point I should say, we can see that his arm angle is about 75 degrees. That's close to 90 degrees in my books. His shoulder, however, is about 98 degrees, which again is close to 90. The one thing I do notice quite often is that his body is slightly curved backwards on his shot, and then when he does shoot, instead of his legs flowing forward and his shoulders moving back, his whole body as a line tends to drift forward. He also has a hard release as well, which can help with the backwards rotation of the ball. However, it's not a soft release, which means it will have less arc or a more flat plane in most cases. But that doesn't seem to be the fact in this case. And because of the lack of dip, Gradey Dick can actually get these shots off on a lot of defenders because he doesn't have a dip. So he can go from a quick jab fake into a shot and just make the defender all mad and upset that he just got shot on. And coming off of a screen, he actually has some pretty good footwork. He catches on his right, left, right into his shot. He has his shoulders, hips, knees, and feet all pointing in the same direction. Now, they're not square towards the rim. And I know there's a lot of coaches who still to this day will teach their players to be square towards the basket. However, you have to be slightly tilted away because that's going to allow your body to be comfortable in shooting, having the shoulder and elbow in line and the ball either over top of the shoulder or upper arm. That creates that shooting triangle, as I always talk about in all of these types of videos. And we can see that right here in this clip, how he has the shoulder and elbow in line with the basket, which is very important. And this high set point is going to be extremely hard for defenders to block, unless your name is Victor Wembanyama. And then just for consistency reasons, if we were to test the angle of this shot versus the last shot that we tested, we can see that it's still within that range. Make sure to go check out my hardest basketball shooting workout down in the description below if you want to be able to shoot the basketball from further away. I hope that this video has helped you become a better shooter. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.